First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory that's due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, salutations to all the hopeful like Akim, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure, as well as hastening the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is 2023, the hopeful year of all the prophecies coming to pass. It's really only two main prophecies that we're looking forward to. I'm not even going to say that we're looking forward to, but that we're waiting to happen before our Lord Yahweh Shai can make his return. And that is the implementation of the MOTB and the start of World War III, man. Okay. And then there's a lot of little little dots that need to be connected in between those two prophecies to create the whole picture, such as Jacob's trouble, famine, death, sedition among the people. But this very thing right here, which I'm about to do this video on, the United States debt ceiling was just hit. Now it's yesterday, as of the 19th, Thursday. Okay, and so I'm gonna play a couple videos that I found to explain exactly what the U.S. debt ceiling is, and then I'm gonna grab the scriptures, man, to show how it all ties into prophecy.
Breakthroughs come as we create.
The U.S. might soon be unable to borrow money to pay its bills. Today, in a letter to Congress, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the U.S. could hit its debt limit by next Thursday, January 19th. Yellen told House Speaker Kevin McCarthy that the Treasury will have to take extraordinary measures to avoid a default. She warned that with no action, the U.S. could default on its debt by early June. Jared Bernstein is a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, and he joins us now. Jared, thank you so much for being here. For all of us non-economists out there, what is the significance of the debt ceiling? Why is the government being able to borrow money important, and how does that affect average Americans?
Well, let's start with the latter point and about the effect to average Americans, because I just think it's hard to convey just how damaging and devastating this will be to the U.S. economy and even the global economy. Here's a quote from the letter that Treasury Secretary Yellen sent up to Hill today. Failure to meet the government's obligations would cause irreparable harm to the U.S. economy, the livelihoods of all Americans, and global financial stability. And I will tell you that we're hearing similar kinds of comments from the Chamber of Commerce and groups on all sides of the political aisle. The reason for that, to get to your question, is that if we don't raise the debt ceiling, the U.S. is unable to meet its spending obligations. Obligations, to be very clear, that this Congress has already agreed upon. These are prior spending obligations, including paying the debt to our bondholders, but also Social Security, paying our military, paying for the agencies that inspect our food and our water and keep our planes moving. So, at any rate, that's just a thumbnail sketch of what's at stake here.
And Jared, I mean, to spell out for me the worst case scenario, right? How do the ripple effects work? Let's say that we somehow are no longer in a place where the government can pay its debts. How does that spread out? How does that affect the global markets? Why is it that we're this limit, could damage?
All right, I'm gonna stop this particular video because he pretty much broke it down. The U.S. doesn't raise the debt limit, okay, or pay off the debt that they owe. If they default, then hey, man, society falls apart, point blank, period, man. A lot of people live life, and they have no idea of how everything around them works, how this country works, how finances work, the role this country plays in the world. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea how the food makes it to the grocery stores. They just get up every day and just live life, man. They worry about exactly what's happening in their particular life, okay? And if it's not happening directly to them, they don't care about it. But it's important to know the things. It's important to know these things, which is why the Lord said that he made us watchmen, man. to measure the times diligently, man. To know accurately, man. So let me see. I'm gonna play the next video, and it's gonna explain. It's gonna break it down basically for dummies. All right.
Dad, we got this.
We got this.
Come and check out town, okay?
We got this. We got this.
Life is for living.
We got this.
Let's partner for all of it. Edward Jones.
Looming catastrophe. It's a bargaining lever. It's a crisis averted. It seems like a never-ending cycle. So what is the federal debt ceiling anyway, and why should you care about it? Let's start with how it works. The government spends more money than it takes in. It's done this off and on since the country was founded. But now it's doing it more than ever. In each of the past 4 years, it has spent over $1 trillion more than it took in. In February of this year, it is projected to collect about $215 billion in revenues and pay out $460 billion. The government borrows to make up the difference by selling bonds to investors around the world. Nearly half of that debt is now held by foreigners, much of it by Japan and China. Each month that the government spends more than it brings in, that is, each month that the government runs a deficit, it has to borrow. The sum of all this borrowing is the federal debt. It's been growing, both in dollars and measured against the size of the economy. Until World War I, Congress had to vote each time the Treasury needed to borrow money. To give the Treasury more flexibility, Congress switched to setting a ceiling on the debt in 1917. When the debt bumps up against that limit, Congress, often with a lot of shouting and bargaining, votes to lift the ceiling. And that is where we are now. The government hit the $16.4 trillion federal debt ceiling on December 31st.
I might add that this video is 9 years ago. So 9 years ago, the U.S. debt ceiling was only 16 trillion, I think he said. Let me go back just to make sure.
It's up against that limit. Congress, often with a lot of shouting and bargaining, votes to lift the ceiling. And that is where we are now. The government hit the $16.4 trillion federal debt ceiling.
God, so our U.S. government, 9 years ago, we were in debt at 16 trillion. Okay, 9 years later, okay, that's more than double. Okay, we're at 31 trillion right now, man. Okay, and only a couple years ago, it was only at I want to say about 28 when this whole pandemic situation happened. They dumped all this money into the economy to speed up their process. Now, all this plays into the implementation of the NWO, okay? Now, Esau Edom, man, he needs to bring in his MOTB, RFID, CHIP, okay? And in order to get everyone on that system, he's going to have to crash the current system that's being set up. So, my prayer and my hope, as far as, when brothers say a ball, when I see something like this, my prayer and my hope is that they default on the loans, and they don't pay the debt ceiling, and that they won't be able to pay the that they don't raise the debt ceiling, Salakia, and that they won't be able to, I don't want this society to keep going, man, and it's all up to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but the Lord told us to pray for fewer days, man. And with this being 2020 year, the hopeful year of all the prophecies coming to pass, man, when brothers see something like this, it's like, man, I hope this it, man, because we tired of this. We're tired, man. We're tired, man. We're tired, so, I'm going to keep playing this video.
On December 31st, so Congress suspended the ceiling, allowing the Treasury to borrow what it needs, but only through May 19th. Well, you have to understand the debt ceiling is a strange thing. First, Congress votes to spend money the government doesn't have. Then it votes a second time to allow Treasury to borrow that money so it can spend. Refusing to raise the debt ceiling does not cut spending. It's like refusing to pay a credit card bill for stuff you've already bought. But because failure to raise the debt limit could be so Congress often does use it to force the president to do things he's reluctant to do. Nobody really knows. The Treasury hasn't been in precisely this position before. But here are some rough guesses. When the Treasury faced similar circumstances back in 2011, it contemplated paying as many bills as it could each day with the cash it had on hand, delaying payment on the rest. Bills would be paid basically in the order in which they arrived. The longer the delay in raising the debt ceiling, the more bills would pile up. Physicians who rely on Medicare payments to make payroll, seniors who pay rent with Social Security benefits, or soldiers waiting for paychecks would be forced to make do without their money.
Hey, so look, man. It says first in, first out. You know, it's talking about the bills. So listen, man. These are the things that could be affected, man. The Medicare system, Social Security system, these military troops, man, who sold their soul damn near to the U.S. government. You know, they still, even though they may not be able to pay you, you still have an obligation to serve. It's not like if your job stops paying you your money, a regular job, you could quit. You can't do that with the military. You know what I'm saying? You still got to go to war for this country, man. You know? But yeah, man. So this is extremely serious, and Lord willing, it happens. You know, Lord willing, man. But it's all up to the timing of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, so let me play the rest of this and then grab the scriptures.
For some time. Another option would be for the Treasury to prioritize payments, choose some bills to pay on time and others to delay. But it's unclear whether this is legal or logistically possible, given the volume of bills the Treasury receives each day. Nor is it clear whether the Treasury could or would pay interest on the national debt before paying everyone else. Any delays in paying interest would endanger the government's credit rating and shake confidence around the world in the ability of the U.S. government to manage its finances. That could lead investors to demand higher interest rates for U.S. Treasury bonds, which would cost American taxpayers billions of dollars over time. Those are the stakes. And as the debt continues to rise, Washington faces a decision. Will it come to an agreement on taxes and spending? Will it actually do something to slow the buildup of debt? Or will the debt ceiling come back into the headlines, and with it, the accompanying fear that the U.S. government won't be able to pay its bills?
Lord willing, the U.S. government won't be able to pay its bills. You know, we're tired of this place, man, but let's grab the scriptures. All right. James 5:1. Now ye rich men, which would be the ruling class elites, you Edomites, okay? It says, weep and howl, for your misery shall you. Right, man. Either way, it's gonna happen. It's not. So this video is not about it could possibly happen. It's gonna happen. It's just about when. All right. The scriptures clearly state that it's gonna happen. All right. It's telling us right now. Okay. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. All right. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. So all the real money, man, is being heaped up and stored in vaults or some damn where. Which is real money is gold and silver, you know, by the elites, man. Okay, and this country has been running off of borrowed debt. Okay, fiat currency, which is not real money. Okay, there's nothing backing it. All right, it says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord, man. How was this country was established, man? How was Babylon the Great, aka America, established? It was established on the back of free labor, okay? The Hebrew Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Seminole Indians, okay? All right? It says, so the Lord heard our cry, man. We built this damn place up, man. And it's ironic. The funny thing is, a country who's in debt itself keeps us in debt, man. So as long as we're in debt to this government, all right, this government has been able to be in debt to its lenders, all right. It says So we're still slaves. Is what people don't understand, man. It's just we're not privately owned slaves anymore on a plantation picking cotton for some man's personal gain. We're corporately owned slaves now. Meaning you get up and you go to a job and you work for pennies while they make billions. Okay. You're a corporate owned slave, man. You have the illusion of freedom. But if you don't pay your bills, right? If you don't, you gotta have your social security number. You can't do shit without it, man. You gotta have a driver's license, an ID. You know what I'm saying? You're a corporately owned slave. Okay. So the Lord is hearing the cries of us Israelites, man. Why is all of this happening in the first place? It's happening for our benefit. The Lord's going to destroy this place for our benefit, man. All right. It's for the affliction of Zion, which is Israel. It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter, man. Yeah, man, these damn Edomites, they've been living it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the famous analogy that brothers use, man. These elites, man, they wake up on one side of the country and drink coffee and then fly to another side of the world to fucking to eat breakfast and can fly to another corner of the earth to take a shit and and go to the other corner of the earth to shower, man. You know, that's how good they got it, man. You know what I'm saying? It says ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Yeah, man, these man, they ruling over us, man, with a iron fist, man. Okay, and it's the will of the Lord ultimately, but they're gonna be taken down, man. Okay, it says, be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receives the early and latter rain. So just like a farmer, man, when he plants his seeds, man, he got to be patient and wait for them to sprout. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a full crop, man. You know what I'm saying? And just like we're waiting, Yahweh Shai is waiting too, man. You know, so the Lord's telling us, you know, just be patient. It's almost here, man. It's almost here. We don't got too many more years to go, man, with this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They ready to push that chip. It's going to be this year or it's going to be the following year, man. When they get coming with this chip, man, you know, it's got to happen. It's going to happen, all right? It's a matter of when. But in the meantime and in between time, we got to be patient, man. You know, and it's a valuable lesson in patience, you know. And while we're patiently waiting, man, we working on ourselves, man. You know, every brother got things about themselves, man. They should be examining themselves like, man, I don't like this shit about myself, man. I need to fix it. You know what I'm saying? I need to fix how I carry myself in this aspect. I need to change how I carry myself in this aspect. And at the same time, keep serving the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? Waiting on the prophecies to come to pass. All right? So we waiting patiently, man. Let's see. Habakkuk 2. It says, so not all these, this Habakkuk 2 and 6, concerning this place America, man, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Because first of all, this land is not yours. All right? And you keep building on it, building shit, you know what I'm saying? Claiming it for yourself. This land belonged to the Native Americans, man, and you stole it. All right? It says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, man. And that word clay in the Hebrew is batya, and it goes into debt. It goes into debt. So they want to keep raising the damn debt ceiling, just piling the debt on top of themselves, man. Eventually, you got to pay up, man. Eventually. It's either pay up or you be kicked out, man. But this place is going to be destroyed. It says, I'm going to drop down to verse 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity, man. This place, America, was built by blood, okay? And it was established by iniquity, man. The destruction, the murder, the slaughter of the Hebrew Israelites, man. You know, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Seminole Indians, man. All right? This place was stolen, man. All right? So Esau's increasing that which is not his. He's increasing this place, America, or attempting to. He's about to try to implement his NWO, all right, his MOTB CHIP, man. You know, Revelations 13 and 16. If you know, you know. All right. Let's do this. Let's keep going, man. Jeremiah 51. It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. So the Lord didn't forget about us, man. You know, we've been in here in this strange land, as it tells you in the book of Baruch. How are we waxing old in a strange land? All right. The Lord ain't forget about us, man. All right. He's just reminding us you were in captivity, man. It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Okay. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon. So how do you flee out of the midst of Babylon, which is America, man? By returning unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, serving the Lord, man, repenting. Okay, it says, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquities, man. When them nuclear missiles come, man, you want to be either you going out either two ways, man, if you're slated to be delivered. You going out by way of being a martyr, or you're going to be delivered by way of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai delivering you, man. You want to go out either of the two honorable ways, man. Okay. Unless the Lord has it slated for you to be taken before all hell breaks loose. All right. In which case, either way, you know. But it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquities. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. That's the time we're living in right now. Okay. It says he will render unto her a recompense. The Lord's going to repay this place, America, these Edomites and these heathens, man. He's going to repay them for all their iniquities, man, that they've done in the earth. Okay, especially to the Israelites. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. It's going to happen all of a sudden, man. One of these days, we're going to wake up and nothing is going to ever be the same. All right. You know, you thought COVID, you know, you thought the CV-19 was something, man. Hey, it says, how for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And that balm is what? That balm is the ointment that the bandages that they trying to slap on the shit that they've done, man. You know, taking down your statues, trying to sign new bills into law to ease your little debt. Keep raising your debt ceiling. It's not gonna help you, man. It's not gonna help you, man. Nothing you do for this place is gonna work. Okay. This is the last one, and then I'm gonna close this out. 2nd Ezra 15, and I think I'm gonna start at this is 16. Salakia, 2nd Ezra 16, and verse. Let's start at 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word." Who is the Lord's people? You so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans that compose the 12 tribes of Israel. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle. Right? How do you get ready to the battle? We can't prepare physically, right? We got to prepare spiritually, man. Okay. It says, make you ready to thy battle. And in those days, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth, man. We about to have to pick up and kill it and kill it. Pick up and move, man. Pick up and move around, man. You know, we're not about to be settled in one place. All right, for people who are obsessed with comfort, man. You know, just a thought. You know, the Lord don't allow brothers to really get too comfortable, man. The scriptures tell you in 1 Corinthians, I believe that's chapter 4, that we have no certain dwelling place, man. The Lord, the Lord blessed me with a place, man. I haven't been able to settle in this place and really get comfortable, man. And I'm grateful that I haven't, I'm grateful that I haven't, man. It's a struggle for brothers to keep a roof over their head, man. No matter what your bills are. You know what I'm saying? It says, let me see. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. Right, man? Because people, that's all, this country is obsessed with buying and selling, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a fucking monetary transaction, man. Nothing's off the love. All right? It says, he that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it. All right? So people who own these grocery stores and all this shit, man, you're about to lose it all, man. You got your little online business. Whatever you do, man, that solidifies you as an entrepreneur, you're going to lose eventually, okay? And he that buyeth as one that will lose, okay, I read that part. He that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. Man, look at Esau, man, gentrifying all these cities, man. You know, downtown Detroit, they're gentrifying the city, you know, Detroit period, man. You know, fixing the roads up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Making it look a little suburban and shit. 2-lane streets, you know, on 7 miles, whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, steady building, man. Steady building, man. And they not even about to be able to dwell in this shit. It says, he that soweth as if he should not reap. Right? People are sowing their money into stocks and investments and shit. They about to lose all that shit. It says, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. It says, they that make as they that shall not get children, as they shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. So everybody's supposed to be in the spirit of mourning, man, right now. This country, these people are supposed to be in the spirit of mourning, right? But what does Esau do, man? He's got his social media out there. You got these celebrities popped up. It look like you're going to keep winning. It look like success is the sky is the limit, and that's not the case. But that's the illusion, man. All right. It says, and therefore, verse 45, and therefore they that labor in vain. So all the hard work you put, man, you're doing it in vain. All right. It's going to be to no avail. It says, for strangers shall reap their fruits. Right, man. You storing up food, money, you know, gold, silver, whatever you got, man. You know, people you don't even fucking know are gonna benefit it, man, or benefit from it, man. You know, it says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine they shall get children. Now check this out, man. Let this debt ceiling not get lifted and the U.S. default on its debt, and all hell is gonna fucking break loose, man. And everything that you worry about is not even gonna fucking matter no more. You know, petty little disagreements, you know, being fucking what do you call it? Vindictive, you know, plotting on motherfuckers, trying to set bait for like all that little weird shit, man. None of it's gonna matter, man. It's not gonna matter, bro. You know, it says they that marry as they. Okay, I read that part. It says, okay, I read that part. Yeah, man. 47. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sins, saith the Lord. So the more these motherfuckers keep trying to build up America and you know, flourishing in society, they only making it worse. All right, the Lord's only gonna get more and more angry, man. So listen, man, this is the time that we're in, man. You know, this is the time where we're in, and you know, the Lord said, "Flee out of the midst of her, my people," man. So our only hope is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. We're about to see things happen in this earth that have never happened before. You know, when you go and look, when you go and look at what is that? The book of Daniel, chapter 12, man. It's gonna be the worst time in the history of the earth. We're about to live through it, you know. So, hey, man, I want to say the water Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai for giving me a spirit to do this video. I pray it may be edifying to the hopeful elect. And shalom.